It says Benson Strategy Group by the Clinton Foundation, Salvage program, as you can see up here in the corner. And it seems like it's an analytic study that states that Donald Trump is going to win by a landslide. At this point, he says right here, at this point, Donald Trump has both momentum and enthusiasm. Distrust in the mainstream media is blunting the impact of the collective polling narrative. As election day approaches, Hillary Clinton's favorable ratings have crashed to historic lows, 12% in nonpartisans, and Donald Trump is consolidating support. 97% of LV Republican identifying respondents are either enthusiastic or very enthusiastic about voting for Trump. Among independents, Hillary voters who are exposed to any alternative media, 70% are aware of the WikiLeaks emails and find them either disturbing, 54%, or deeply disturbing, 18%. Among liberal identifying whites, support is shifting from Hillary, -27, since October 1st, to Donald Trump, 78%, or Jill Stein, 21%. For voters who solely consume mainstream media, only 28% are aware of the WikiLeaks emails, and of those, only 8% are aware of the content. For those voters, Clinton leads Trump by +8. Okay, let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Here we go. Okay, so it goes on to it covers minority voters. It says right here, only 39% of women approve of them. However, a majority, 64%, say they understand that confident men talk that way. In effect, these allegations have been diffused. So this is a very in-depth study, and they go into a lot of details of what they have found. But now remember, this is a salvage program, as it states right here. A salvage program by the Benson Strategy Group. It has the address right there. And through the Clinton Foundation. This is going to be really interesting because I'm scrolling down. More details on the analysis. It says right here, salvage program, it says at this point Donald Trump has both momentum and enthusiasm. Distrust in the mainstream media is blunting the impact. So right here it has categories. Clinton, mind made up. Clinton, mind could change. Trump, mind made up. Trump, mind could change. It goes into a lot of details here. You'll find it very, very interesting. I'm leaving the link below so you can check it out. But this is really quite amazing because, okay, let me scroll this, center it. Clinton's collapse in both soft and hard support was steady and pronounced following the first debate. Okay, this is the analysis now, and this is through the Clinton Foundation. Now these dates are 2016. Okay, October 10 to the 13th, 2016. It's all 2016. September 28 to the 30th, 2016. So this is just recently. Anyway, here we go to the next page. Salvage program. It says the damage has metastasized. Hillary is widely considered sick, untrustworthy, and most Hillary-leaning Democrats would vote to replace her. Okay, here's the percentages. I would give Hillary 8%, Jill Stein 31%, Bernie Sanders 17%, Joe Biden 28%, Julian Assange 4%, and on and on and on. Q16 right here. I'm not sure what the Q stands for, but Trump has the temperament to be president. He fights the mainstream media lies, 33%. I mean, it goes into detail. You know, it's not biased to one thing. It's actually, it looks like a fairly fair and unbiased study about what's happening in this election. According to the WikiLeaks emails, Hillary hates everyday people. Yes, 52%. No, 15%. Not sure, 33%. I mean, this stuff is really something else. I mean, I have to agree with it. Basically, it's telling you Trump's going to win by a landslide. Okay, but now let's keep in mind that this is a salvage program. Okay, number 2 right here on the next page, it says Trump voters are virtually unstoppable. Okay, let's see. The public has lost faith in polling, and it goes into details as well in this study, analytical study, I would think, and it's also very interesting. Now, for an accurate view of the race, I trust Fox News 6%, broadcast news 5%, cable news 2%, social media 31%, my gut instincts 21%, Donald Trump 29%. This is an unbiased analytical study done by Benson Strategy Group through the Clinton Foundation. All right, this is really the most interesting part of the whole thing. It says right here, salvage options, recommendation, and alternatives. We have analyzed a number of political salvage options. Let me see if I can make that a little bigger so you guys can read it. Center of the page. Okay, here we go. It says salvage options, recommendation, and alternatives. We have analyzed a number of potential salvage options and have a strong recommendation. Okay, here we go. Non-recommended salvage options. Okay, check this out. Pay attention to this right here. It says here, Red Dawn. Support is too widespread, while an RD scenario using UN forces and Canadian border infill would be effective in shutting down northern voting. It would simply delay the inevitable and result in a hardened support for Mr. Trump. Red Dawn now. Okay, risks. Here are the risks and the issues. Loss of property and life. Alternative right forces are prepared for battle. Okay, this is the Red Dawn scenario. Okay, the Cobalt Rain scenario. The public has been primed for radiological attack, and stockpiles have been positioned. But while the psychological impact of a Co-60 weapon is severe, the threshold of opportunity may have passed for this to stop a vote. Okay, the risks are loss of profit under martial law, leaks could compromise. All right, this is the Cobalt Rain scenario. The Black Lives Matter riot, BL riot. Again, it says again, while staged civil unrest could prevent pockets of America from voting, the damage is too widespread. The risks are command and control. Command and control is dicey at this point, as substantial numbers of employed minorities have defected to Trump. Okay, this is from the scenario of the Black Lives Matter riot, or BL riot. Okay, the next scenario is sick apocalypse. So I'm thinking that they put the Zika virus into the apocalypse, and they made one word out of it. Okay, improved strains of SIC-5 virus, or the Zika virus, have been delivered, and we have disseminated them to operatives. Unfortunately, this will suppress women voters more than men. Even a sick virus too is lethal in adults. This would hurt Hillary Clinton, and Trump voters are willing to risk lethal pathogens to vote. And the risks and issues is as post-election control. All right. The next scenario is Sharia escalation. States have blocked key immigrant operatives without the required Muslim Islamist population in place. The IE plan will not be impactful. Leo is pro-Trump and will not roll over due to Muslim demands of political correctness. Okay, seems like this has been happening. You know, it looks like all this has been happening already. Okay, let's keep going. The last of the optional scenarios would be unnatural disasters. It says HARP is in skeleton crew mode. Subterranean thermobaric devices in fracking mines are untested. Surveys suggest this might not stop Trump voters. And the risks are these: unproven techniques, unintended sequences. Reactivating HARP may have pale horse protocol ramifications. And these are the non-recommended scenarios to stop Donald Trump from taking the White House. Okay, now here we go. You thought that was interesting. Let's get to the really juicy stuff. Here we go. Okay, let me, okay. Recommended salvage. Recommended salvage. And this is the recommended salvage that they can use so that they can stop Donald Trump from becoming the President of the United States. Okay? Fire sign. Fire sign. For almost 2 decades, the Department of Defense and NASA have coordinated on a black book project under the code name FIRESIGN. FIRESIGN's aim is to create a religious awe effect. To create a religious awe effect in enemy populations. To create an instantaneous psychological soft kill object submission. The operation uses high-powered lasers to project real-seeming images on the sodium layer 100 kilometers above the surface. These images can cover hundreds or even thousands of square miles and can appear completely real, three-dimensional, and can move. These visual cues are augmented with pulsed ELF electromagnetic emissions. See Project Sanguine that attack the specific areas of the prefrontal cortex that are stimulated during religious experience. In limited tests, subjects have been able to be overwhelmed on both axes of vastness, an overwhelming of the subject's frame of reference, and a powerful need for accommodation. The mix of these two will produce inaction, lack of focus, and self or individual interaction, and gross transformation in mental equilibrium, in parentheses, a road to Damascus experience. And here we have a rendering of this mechanism. And I'm going to see if we can see it a little bit clearer here. I'm zooming in. This is really incredible stuff. I mean, and You know what? I've heard about this years ago. Project Bluebeam. Many of you have heard about this. They have been promoting their alien agenda, which comes from the United Nations and the Vatican, and I hope you guys can look into that. I have a video about that too. Okay, so this is a rendering of the mechanism that they would be using for this facade, I would say. Let's keep going to the next page. Let's keep strolling down. Now here we go with a little more detail of this. And it says right here, the ability to produce these effects across 28% of the continental United States is the objective of FIRESIGN. And field tests in the Levant have proven successful. The FIRESIGN scenario is that of an invading extraterrestrial force of nearly incomprehensible scale. In parentheses, it says massive floating cities descending, God-sized walkers among the clouds with terrifying weapons, wheels of fire and eyes, etc. Well, I guess you can say UFOs, wheels of fire. It says, this phenomena, when activated, will bring electoral and social systems to a halt, and in afflicted areas will permit a narrative wherein POTUS, President of the United States, is able to call a halt to the invasion and then hand over the torch to Clinton, providing a basic continuity of state. Isn't that amazing there? Incredible, unbelievable, and very, very interesting. Okay, the aftermath. The aftermath of FIRESIGN will be a psychological subjugation of areas where uprisings are most likely to occur. The induced trauma of FIRESIGN will provide ample cover to government and NGOs who will be providing aid, psychotropic to induce docility, something that's going to make you a little more docile and easy to control, I'm thinking, and counseling services which will ensure further domestication. FIRESIGN will require a great deal of power. Mobile command stations with nitrogen-cooled supercomputers and the co-opting of the ELF arrays. We have created a schedule and teams roster that can be moved into position following the third debate.